First, welcome to my yoga spaces where I practice. I've been asked to make a video, some teachings of teaching beginners, teaching people how to teach. So this is my attempt to do that. Hope you will enjoy it. The first thing that I work with is the posture. So I want to look at posture, and generally what I call it is the 7 steps. And the 7 steps require that first we have foundation, and from the foundation we have a long spine that's in alignment, that we have the shoulders in the correct position, and then we balance the head. So these are the first 4 steps. The 5th step is very simple but very difficult to maintain. It's just a sweet, gentle smile, and that in turn will make soft eyes. So this is 6 steps, which now has placed the body in a position where we can breathe. So we're in the most efficient place in our body, best alignment, where we can actually breathe. And this is the 7th step. From these 7 steps, we then can go into meditation or into our movement of Ashtanga or any yoga practice. I also work with, and my teachings are based on first the breathing, but second on alignment. But the alignment I'm working on is from anatomy trains, discovery or a concept brought forth by Thomas Myers. You can buy the book in China. It's in Chinese. But it very much works on connective tissue. So this is what I'm looking at in alignment with connective tissue, which if we look at it very closely, or not even that closely, but we look at it and we can tie it in with meridians, so with Chinese meridians. So it's a very easy concept, I find, for Chinese to understand. And the other key points that I work with, which we'll explain more in detail, is here, the Khanda, which is in the Hindu language, Khanda. In Chinese, it would be the lower Dantian. I work very much in conjunction with this point, the middle Dantian. So we have Sha Dantian, Zhong Dantian. So we have both these Dantian. And including the 3rd Dantian, which is the place between the eyebrows. These are very much connected and have a great deal to do with the teachings that I teach. We also have to understand. So I'm giving you some very quick information, which I'll explain more later. Another great thing that I work with is that the body will respond to the pressures that are applied to it. So the body will actually respond without any extra work from ourselves. It'll just do what it needs to do. And this is a very important thing to help us in our yoga practice, so we don't overstrain ourselves. We don't over-exercise muscles. We don't pull muscles. I also work with lengthening. So when I'm working with muscle or extension, I'm always extending. I don't want to contract. Contraction brings compression into the joints. If I contract the muscles, the bones come together, and then any movement I need is going to be restricted. Whereas if I lengthen, the muscles are going to lengthen, they're going to engage, but it's going to create space between the joints. So this is a very beautiful thing to understand. And it's simply done. I connect the end of my fingers. I just reach my fingers. And as long as I'm following the 7 steps, 3rd step through the shoulders and the neck, if this is in alignment, connecting to the middle Dantian, and I just reach my fingers, everything in between is going to connect, but create space so that I can move. Whereas if I contract, everything becomes tight. Okay. So let's start again at the beginning. Let's go back to the 7 steps. So first, there is foundation. So in a sitting position, I'm sitting on my sitting bones, side of my legs is touching the floor. So this is my foundation, and I want to make sure it's even. Once this is established, and what's also important with this is, it's very nice in this sitting position that I'm sitting in Padmasana, my sitting bones are spreading apart. My pelvic floor is also engaged. So my pelvic floor is spread, which allows me then to connect and create a lift or a direction first downwards through my perineum, which is going to in turn send energy upwards. So I'm starting to feel length in my spine. From this length, I want to balance. I want to just come to balance, a balanced position. And in this way, the chi, the energy, can flow upwards through my spine. So what's important is that in this alignment, is that we don't arch our back too much. We don't want to be sitting like this. We want to be sitting so the action of a tailbone is actually going downwards, which means we connect to the lower dantian. So we just gently draw the lower dantian, and from this gentle movement in, the abdomen moves back and actually lifts up to the diaphragm. So it actually supports the diaphragm. It also is going to allow us to connect to middle dantian. So this is very important, this connection of reaching down, which is very simple to do actually if you just flex your toes. Just a little pressure with the toes. The connective tissue will come and connect all the way to here. It's pretty amazing actually how this connection works, just working from the toes, how it goes through and creates the lift. Connecting to here is now going to allow us to extend through the upper body. So the way that I work is I put the body in many parts, but basically in two. I'm working first from two parts. This is the middle extension of my body from here. So from here, there's connective tissue coming all the way up through our body and connecting to this area, the zong dantian, the middle dantian. And also, it comes from our fingers and extends and meets. So the meeting point is here. And from this meeting point, if I reach up here, and all these connections there, it's going to extend to the other side of my body. There's going to be an action that reconnects all the way through the body. One action here is going to affect the other end. So this is very important. So this connection to Zong Dantian, if I get the lift here, is actually going to help to lift my shoulders. And ultimately from there through the head so it can balance. And it's just like should be just balanced, just relaxed, steady. And when this happens, you feel good. A sweet smile comes, soft eyes. And then we can breathe.